Hey folks, Lumen02, currently doing a cube draft, and this is a pick one, pack one. This is modern cube, so there's gonna be no power in this. It's kind of an interesting pack. Like it doesn't have any of the lands that you won't want to go after. I'm more inclined in like these kind of cubes to like take mana fixing early. Path to Exile kind of holds some interest to me because I think looking at this pack, I mean, what do we wheel, right? Like Batterskull probably won't wheel in a pick in this early, because you can build around it. I believe Stoneforge Mystic should be in this, as it has just become modern legal, but it may not be because I know Faithless Looting's still in here. The Benalish Marshal could come around and could have like a decent white weenie deck, and like Path to Exile could just go in a lot of different decks. It's very easy to cast, very powerful. It's a 1-mana spell. It's interactive, and it can go in like a decent control deck, aggressive deck, mid-range deck, you name it. Again, kind of similar thing. Like, there's not good lands here. There's a Razor Verge Thicket, which green white's actually a fine deck. I've played that in this cube. I think I went 2-1 with it. I'm kind of inclined to take the Bramaz here. I think Bramaz is just a very powerful card. It's on color with my first pick. Like, I don't think I'd want to take like a powerful card like Geist because it's 2 colors, and like I'm not per se in blue yet, and like neither of these 2 blue cards. The Hulk probably won't wheel, and like the Cyclonic Rift is really not that great. I think I'm kind of inclined to take the Bramaz. We'll probably wheel the Sunlance out of here. Sunlance not great, but you're not going to have like Swords to Plowshares in this format. So I think I'm happy taking the Bramaz. I mean, yeah. Alright, then there was this pack. So, this pack does have some better lands. You have the Blood Crypt, which doesn't really go with my first 2 picks, and I don't think Marduk's really where I want to be. There's like some big dumbs like Chandra, which is a good card. Tarmogoyf's not good in this format, not really good in most cube formats. It's fine. If I were to take a green card out of this pack that was not the Botanical Sanctum, it would probably be the Whisperwood Elemental. I think that card's quite good. But I think I'm going to highlight the Journey to Nowhere, because again, it's just a very cheap, interactive card. And Modern Cube is going to tend to have more creatures in it. It's going to tend to play more fair games of Magic. Like, you play creatures, a couple Planeswalkers, you know, and wheeling the Ranger of Eos seems reasonable. If it doesn't wheel, that kind of tells us something too, and may have to go into a second color. But like none of these cards are horrible. I mean, Bramaz may be pushing the limit a little bit. Okay. So there's this pack. Like the card that comes to mind if we're trying to like push into White Weenie is Anafenza. But let's look at the rest of the pack. Like Tempest Jinn seems a mile off. Irish Shaman if you want to go into red white, but I don't tend to like going that way. Deafening Clarion is really a weird card to me. Like it's either a Wrath or it's a way to kind of win races. But I think in general, I tend to like it better in like a mid-range to mid-range controlling deck. More of a controlling mid-range build. Sphinx's Rev is a really cool card, but I don't think that's the direction we're going. I think it's Inoffensive here. There's no Caracas in this format of note, so my 2 legendary creatures aren't at a huge risk. I'm not going to wheel anything out of this pack, though, so I need to be kind of keeping my eyes open to signs that maybe white is drying up, and I need to go into a second color. And Inoffensive does kind of commit me pretty strongly to white. Okay, so this pack, and this is the first real pack where like we don't have a great pickup for the deck that we're currently drafting. We've seen some signs that red is possibly open as well, so we could take the Fire Drink Satyr, although I think that card's like Sorcerer's Spyglass is also fine. Champ of Wits, pretty medium. I think here I just did red for a VOD. I don't think I'm going to take Fire Drink Satyr, even though I think right here, like if I was trying just to win this, I think I would take the Fire Drink Satyr. I could take the white card just for signaling purposes, but I think Sorcerer's Spyglass is just a better pickup. I'm putting the board, though. Okay, well, there is a Cloud Goat Ranger, which is a fine card. Den Protector, like, I think you can go white-green. I think white-green is a decent, mid-range to mid-range aggressive deck, and Den Protector is a fine card. But I think for now, I'm going to keep on cutting. I don't think Cloud Goat Ranger, like 5-drops, are fairly replaceable in this style of deck. I think Mana Tide is going to do a little bit better work for us. But we do want to pick up some decent 1-drops, and it looks like we're not going to get there on 1-drops. So I think at this point we need to start considering jumping into other options. We're not back to our first pack yet. We could take the Monastery Swiftspear. We've passed some decent-ish red cards. I don't really have a lot to go with it. I'm thinking about taking Watery Grave. It's a very good land. Alright, Disenchant is a good card. I think it's honestly main deckable, but we could just be getting cut. All right, so I have a tough choice here. I have Scrapheap Scrounger and I have the Tidehollow Sculler. I think I am going to have to jump into a second color. Black is not a bad color to jump into to supplement this primary game plan we have going. I think I like taking the Scrapheap Scrounger here. I think it's just a better creature. Sunlance did wheel. There was not another white card in that pack. So maybe we just got cut early and someone jumped off of this color scheme. I don't think Liliana is the type of card. I think I'll pick up the Roast here. All right, Irish Shaman did wheel, so I'm going to pick that up. We're probably going to get all these red cards back, so I'm assuming this is Jackal Pup Impersonator. The Fire Drink Satyr will be in the next pack unless someone decided to cut it. I think whoever was in white did jump off of it. I think in general you take Sunlance there unless they tried to make a two-color deck, because Sunlance is a little bit weaker. All right, so the Fire Drink Satyr came back around. So you're getting like a half red deck, half white deck. Red is obviously the most open, and I think, I don't per se want to jump into green yet, because I do think I want to leave the option open to jump into black. That Trostani, I think is the Legend's name, is a very powerful card, but it's a 5-drop, and like I was saying, I think 5-drops in the style of deck are fairly replaceable. Like, you have Baneslayer Angels, you have, not Linvala, Savala, whatever the 5-drop angel is that gives +1/+1. It's basically Baneslayer, but it's a legend, which again is not really a detriment in this format because there's no Caracas, so there is that. Okay, so we have pretty unconditional removal in the form of Oblivion Ring, and we also have Faith's Fetters, which I think has the higher chance of wheeling over Oblivion Ring, and Faith's Fetters is not a horrible card. I also think Mimic Vat's a little bit underrated, but I'm going to pick up the 2/1 here, because I think I do want some good early pressure for this style of deck, like good early pressure and efficient removal. Okay, and there was this pack. Not a great white card, but there is the Phyrexian Revoker, which is kind of like a better version for this deck of Sorcerer's Spyglass. It does not name lands. There's also Thoughtseize, which is a good card if I want to go into white-black. Don't believe we've seen Godless Shrine yet. There's also Spirit of Heliod, but that card is, to me, less impressive. That effect is less impressive on that type of card. Wimber's Kite's probably... so here's the thing, right? Like, I could have Inquisition plus Thoughtseize, which would be kind of cool, but I don't have the fixing for it. I think these sort of decks want fixing very highly if you're going to go two-color. I'm going to take History of Benalia over Windbrisk Kites. I would like to be taking the Windbrisk Kites, but I think the signaling is still really important right now to try to get whoever was in white before off of that color. Alright, so I have Journey, I have Path, I have Sunlance. Honestly here, Hidden Dragon Slayer is a fine card, but I think I'm going to take Thraben Inspector because I want some of that early pressure. And if I'm able to pick up any equipment, I think Thraben Inspector is going to be good to have kind of at the low end. It's card draw, it's a 1/2. It presents that early pressure, and if we get equipment, it's going to tend to scale up pretty well. This is only Knights, right? I think the only Knights that I have, this is a Soldier, Burmaz is a Soldier. This is a Giant Warrior. I don't know if I'm playing this card. I'm going to put it in the board for now. Like, these two are playable. The rest of these cards, probably not. I'm in more of an aggressive build right now. Wouldn't mind picking up, a couple Thalias. Like, the Thalias are very strong. Venerated Luxodon, I think, has a higher chance of wheeling over Figure of Destiny, which can go into two decks, although I do believe red is more open. But these 1-drops, I think, are very important to this style of deck. Like, you really want to present early pressure on your opponent. Okay. We could have had Mono Black Aggro, it appears, too. Glen Elandra is a very powerful card. So is Force of Negation. I think it's mitigated a little bit in this cube, because there's still Planeswalkers and stuff, but there's a lot more creatures. Rampaging Ferocidon is probably the most powerful card in this. Well, Rampaging Ferocidon, Force of Negation, Glen Elandra are probably the most powerful. I'm going to take Selfless Spirit here. This is a format where there are going to be more wraths, more destructive more spells that just kill things, and maybe you don't want your things to die, or certain things to die. In a pinch, it can save one thing from specific spot removal. In other cases, it can be used to prevent a wrath from killing you. Although Terminus, I believe, is in this format, so that's a thing that could happen. What do I think of this build so far? Well, it wants a few more ones. There's not going to be... Alright, so Blade Splicer is a great pickup. There is a Spear we could wheel, so Spectral Procession could be nice. We can't wheel anything out of this pack, but I think that Blade Splicer is quite a bit better than Although I'm thinking back, we actually didn't pick back up the three white mana card, did we? Eh. All right, Mirror Crusader over Glorious Anthem. I'd rather have my anthems be on creatures, and Mirror Crusader is kind of a hate card. All right, so both of these cards will. So everyone's off white now. I guess we maybe got people out of white. Someone picked up the 3 white +1/+1 all creatures, though. Oblivion Rings I'm going to pick up. I'm going to put it on the board for now, though. It's a little bit expensive for the removal I think this deck tends to want. It'd be kind of interesting to see if this Deck and Stone, I believe was in the second pack, comes around. There was also another white creature in this pack. I think it was a less desirable one, though. Also, the Ranger of Eos did not come around. So someone was trying to hit white earlier on. Well, we'll see. I think in general, like that triple white card, I think would have been great. The Benelish Captain, I want to say it is, or Marshal. Yeah, we're not going to take Elish Norn. It's a cool card. I'll take the Spear, though. I don't think we can wheel. All right, Windbrisk Heights is a card I will play in this deck. I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now, though, just to maintain visibility on playable count. Windbrisk Heights is pretty good in these sort of decks, though. I'm a little creature light. I'd like to be up to like 15 or so. All right, both these cards came around. I think this deck in general is going to be happier with another creature. This is a 3-drop creature, Hidden Dragon Slayer, but it's pretty strong. Venerated Luxodon, I can see playing this card. We'll keep. I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now. Yeah, Knight of Reliquary. Special Procs did come around. Cool. So maybe I am playing Spear of Heliod. I mean, it's +1/+1 to all creatures. This is a 2, kind of a 3. And we still have another pack, so maybe we're looking to cut the Disenchant. Disenchant is a card I will main deck if I'm playable light, because I think there's enough targets like the swords and stuff like that. Okay. Oust is fairly good. Will Oust wheel more than Aethersphere Harvester? So I don't wheel a ton out of this pack, so I think this pick is important. I'm not going to play Sun Titan. Sun Titan's a good card, but I don't think I need a 6er in this deck. Sort of Body and Mind is good. I think in general, though, Aethersphere Harvester is probably going to be the highest. So, like, I could wheel this Sword or this Oust. The consideration is really between Aethersphere Harvester and Oust. I think Aethersphere Harvester is probably a higher pickup. I think Oust is a powerful enough card to play in this format. All right, Legion's Landing is great. This is another 1-drop in the deck. It is basically a 1-drop creature. It works well with Windbrisk Heights. Basically has the same clause on attack with 3, and you get to flip it. Wouldn't mind picking up like a Giver of Runes or a Kythian if they're still available in the cube. Like I said, I think in pack 1, we got cut pretty significantly, but the other person jumped off of it and jumped onto some other sort of deck, I think, based on... I mean, we have a decent playable count. Like, I don't think we're going to be off on playable count. If we had to play the cards we have right now as a deck, we could by bringing in some of the less optimal cards, but the deck would still function. We're at 11 critters. Legion's Landing is really a creature. Sunlance is a card I would not mind cutting. Same with Disenchant. We'll probably get there, I think. I'm going to cut it. The Spear of Heliod is not great, but when you start having stuff like Spectral Procession in your deck, I think it gets a lot better. And Blade Splicer works well with. History of Benalia. There's a few cards that it works quite well with. All right, Adanto Vanguard is great. I would actually like to, at this point, get some equipment. Nothing else to wheel in this pack, unfortunately, but we'll pick it up. It's a solid 2-drop. It's tough to kill. Okay, well, I think we're going to take the Fairgrounds Warden. We can also take Westvale Abbey. It's not a horrible card. It's certainly not Banishing Light. I think the Fairgrounds Warden wheels more than the Westvale Abbey does. I'm going to pick it up here. All right, Blessed Alliance or Mutavault. Mutavault, again, like I don't want to go too low on playable count, but I think Mutavault is significantly better than Blessed Alliance, so I'm going to pick it up. Blessed Alliance is not bad, but it's really only good against like those decks that like will play like one singular massive creature. If they're attacking with multiple creatures, like I don't tend to think forcing them to sack, like having a Celestial Flare is that great. I guess it also works for blockers, but and some life gain. But like I already have a little bit of life gain with the Aethersphere Harvester and the Hidden Dragon Slayer. So there's that. I also kind of want to get to 24 in this deck. I don't think you often want to go 17 lands in this style of deck, and I know I've kind of given up some picks to get some utility lands. Westvale Abbey was more questionable. Mutavault, I think, was the right pick there. Like, these lands are very good in this style of deck. Alright, so there's sort of Light and Shadow, which is quite good. Condemn is not good in this list, but I think it's a Silverblade Paladin. We may wield the blue-green sword. I don't think we'll wield Sword of Light and Shadow, which is a reason to run Disenchant in the first place. Alright, I like Tide Taker a lot, but Smuggler's Copter is just a broken Magic card, and we could wield a Tide Taker, and I would be happy to play it. But Smuggler's Copter is just busted. Alright, Silk Wrap's good removal in this format, but Kithian is exactly what we're looking for. Now we're at 25. The sword did not come around, but that's not a huge shock. I'll bring the Sun Titan into the sideboard because it's a viable option to run it in this deck. Sunlance is, generally speaking, not where I'd like to be. So take a look at removal. Can I have Journey to Nowhere, Path to Exile, Hidden Dragon Slayer, Disenchant's conditional removal, and then I'm basically just looking to beat down. Like, I have a lot of flyers. I have Smuggler's Copter, I have Selfless Spirit, Remorseful Cleric, I have Aether Sphere Harvester. That's really it for flyers. Suppose we can pick up a Concealed Courtyard, although we're not looking to splash black. Although we could play this because it allows us to get back our Scrap Heap Scrounger. This pack had nothing in it for us. Pick up what? Wildfire, I suppose. Don't know how playable that card is. What's the best card here? Sure. Sure. Engineered Explosives, not a card I could see myself, or not a card I generally would see myself sideboarding, but it's certainly possible. Alright, Tech Edge is not bad to pick up as a last pick. Okay, so this is 24 right here. It is with a main deck Disenchant. Do I want Disenchant over something else? Never got a sword, which is a little unfortunate. I wouldn't have minded one for the deck. So I think I am playing Westvale Abbey. I think the card is, it's just a good mana sink late. I think I will play Concealed Courtyard too because it allows me to turn on the Scrap Heap Scrounger as far as buying it back. Wimber's Kites also seems fine. So does Mutavault. Let's add our basics. 10, sure. This is a 15 lander. I think I need to go to 16 in this deck. So, I am short a land. Let's get one more in there. Alright, so, yeah, I think this is fine. I have 3 lands that don't produce white. I have 1 double white here. I have a ton of double whites here. And then the Spectre Process is really a 3-drop. I think this deck's fine. What do we have for sideboard options? I mean, we have Sunlance if we need more removal. Like against Red Deck Wins, I think Sunlance is fine. Oblivion Ring against, like, the Planeswalker type decks, like decks that we think will get out of hand quickly. Sorcerer Spyglass, kind of same thing with where we sideboard in the Oblivion Ring. Venerated Luxodon kind of allows you to go bigger, but I don't really tend to care for it. Cloud Goat, I suppose we could sideboard in against like green decks if we want to fly over, but I tend to think in general you just want to bring in stuff like Sunlance, Oblivion Ring, stuff like that, just to kind of roll them over, like get their most important thing off the board, kill their dorks, and just put them in a spot where your creatures become the Abyss. But anyways, I think this is a perfectly viable deck. I mean, it's got no 4-drops in it, which is kind of nice with 16 lands. It's got good card selection with Smuggler's Copter. It's got a little bit of draw with the Thraben Inspector. Got a decent number of flyers and protection-based creatures. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this list. I mean, it could probably use like one more flyer, but it's fine. And we've got the Spear of Heliod, which I'm not as excited about playing. I think Disenchant may be a little questionable in this format, but there are signets in this format. There are swords, There's no Jit, luckily, but, I think there's enough targets for Disenchant that it's worth running generally. But we'll see. I mean, we could be sideboarding it down a decent bit, too. There's also a lot of Oblivion Ring effects that folks could play. And Disenchant can tend to blow them out. A little tacky. But we shall see. I just think Disenchant gets underrated pretty often. Yeah. Hand's great. Certainly a keep. Lead off on the Thraben Inspector. And then probably Smuggler's Copter on turn 2, but we'll see. Okay, Forest. I would actually like to see a land next turn. Just gonna get in there. If I see a land, I may just Spear of Heliod. I don't know. If I see a land, I'll probably just Figure of Destiny plus Revoker. Nothing. Okay. Alright, I think here we play out this figure, because we still have options to revoke her. I don't think there's a naturalize. There's probably a nature's claim in this format. It looks like I'm going to at least get my ability to see another card, though, and see if I can find a land. I do not. I think I like keeping the Silverblade Paladin. What do I want to get rid of here? It could be Kithian. Kithian's a pretty powerful card, though. They haven't done anything yet, so they're either going to play like a big creature or a planeswalker, I feel like. Maybe Spear of Heliod is the card I get rid of here, actually. So I'm going to miss land this turn, which kind of stinks. But it is what it is. Sometimes you miss. The hope is we finally hit a land next turn. Alright, Mana Gorger Hydra. Cool. So that thing needs to be, what is it, 4 or larger? Alright, well, we're missing again, which is not great. Alright, I'm going to play out this thing. I think here I just turn this thing. Alright, let's get in for our 3. See what is what. Alright, well, this is looking a little dire. I think we get rid of the Legion's Landing here. Or do we? I think I like keeping Legion's Landing. I think I want to get rid of the Harvester here. Get him out of 12. I mean, right now they have to cast 2 spells to attack through this. I may just block with stuff, too, if they just attack. Alright, Vanifar. Alright, cool. Well, that could be a spooky card. They're not going to attack in with it, so I probably will use the Revoker next turn to turn off Vanifar. Alright, that's an awkward one to draw. But still doable. Alright, this will name Vanifar. Prime Speaker of Vanifar. We'll ditch this guy. The question I've got is, like, so I hit my land this turn. I'm hoping to hit a land next turn. Do I want to play out? I think I want to play out Legion's Landing here, and the reason being, it's going to grow their Hydra, but it gives me the ability to have a pretty substantial attack next turn. It also gives me the ability to play and then flip this goofball. I guess it doesn't, does it? 6 mana. Yeah, it's still going to be tight. But they have to be worried about lethal pretty soon here, and they're not going to get to search their deck, at least with Vanifar. They could have like a Neoform or an Eldritch Evolution. I don't know if both those are in the cube. Alright, this looks like a big dude. Alright, Whisperwood Elemental. Seems fine. So they have a 6/6 now. The problem is if they turn this Gorger sideways, I have much better attacks in. They don't. Okay. And if they can't kill me next turn... Alright, well, that's an uncastable spell. I think what I want to do here... I will turn this thing sideways. I need to get an attack. And the next turn, I want to hit a plains here. I really need to find a plains. So if I find a plains, next turn I can just hit them to death. Yeah, I think you get rid of Spectral Pross here. I give them a little bit of information. Alright, so this means that next turn I can turn the Smuggler's Copter on, play out the Silverblade Paladin, and soul bond it with my thing. Okay, this is fine. This is gain life. Okay. I think this may be okay. We're going to see here. It's going to be tight. Okay, gain a life, draw a card. Yep. Alright. I think it's correct to do this. I don't have the ability to activate this now. It's 5 mana to make a thing. Make a 1/1. Let's draw our card here. And we'll probably pump up the Figure of Destiny to a 2/2. Alright, well, that's a card. So they're at 7 here. Alright, I don't need to show them that. So, if I play out the Silverblade Paladin, they have the ability to block all of my stuff, right? Okay, well, I think what I like doing here is this. I think I like... If I play this out face down, I can flip the Legion's Landing. I have to attack in with the Vampire. Okay, we're going to pump this thing up. Fire up this thing. Pair this up. Alright, I kind of like Mana Tithe here, I think. Alright, we'll put him to 1. So they've got to do something next turn, and I have this Mana Tide. The Hydra is just going to hit me for a ton. I could try playing out the Hidden Dragon Slayer. Alright, so they're going to go back up to 2 here. And what can you do now? Slam it all. Alright, cool, perfect. Alright, that's a 9/9. Alright, get tithed. I think this should be lethal. I don't think their attack back is lethal. They're going to do 10 with the Hydra. I'm not going to block it. And the rest of the stuff I can block. Alright, cool. So flying is good against green. If you didn't know. Alright, so I don't have swords against green. There's Oblivion Ring, which is a good removal spell. Maybe I want Sunlance. They showed a 2/4 Vanifar. It's good against the Hydra. Venerated Luxodon. I don't know about that. Seems a little bit of a stretch. Engineered Explosives is good versus Hornet Queen. I think I'm just going to resub, guys. I don't think our draw was anything special. We possibly could have played it a little tighter and maybe won a turn sooner. I don't know. I have to go back and relook at it. Alright, this hand's certainly not keepable. I may need to relook the mana base in this too. I may have too many colorless lands. That was one of the concerns I had kind of going in with it. This is a mole. Alright, this hand's a definite keep. Here, I think we're going to need to get rid of one of the 3s. Which 3 will it be? Yeah. I think, actually, it's... It's a tough one. I think it's going to be the Aethersphere Harvester. As much as I was talking up flying, I don't know if... I think the Silverblade Paladin and the Brimaz are just such heavier hitters. We get this out turn 1. If we get not Wasteland, I guess we can't get Wasteland. Alright, that was great to get rid of. Glad I didn't draw 4 lands in a row after this. That would not have been good. That would not be a game-winning line. But now there are 3 on the bottom of my deck, and 1 I will never have to draw, which is great. I think here we just get down an early Anafenza and say go. They're probably going to have their Hydra or something next turn, which is good. No, nothing. I think I should get Brimaz down now. Alright, take him to Pound Town. We'll see if we're playing a flyer next or if we're doing something different. Alright, Nullhide Ferox. Cool. Alright, well, we will get in there with the Brimaz, see what they want to do. This will at least trade off with the Ferox. I mean, they could eat the Cat Soldier too, but then that's going to give me a pretty good line to flip the Legion's Landing. They don't know that I don't have anything underneath the other card, but hey. So trade off. And then I have a free to use Silverblade Paladin next turn, which is kind of nice. Okay. Make a 5/5? They can return the Ferox. Okay. It doesn't go well. Okay. I think here I want to get a Selfless Spirit down. Yes. Alright, so I think here we're going to attack Nissa. And they can kill the Silverblade, I suppose, but they still lose their Nissa, right? Yeah, this is 6. Okay. And I think here, I'm not going to get the, I think I'm going to get History down. Start getting this going. They have more big things. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to do this right now to pump up some of my attackers. This thing. We will just Journey to Nowhere on the Beast token right here. Because it's not likely they're going to trade it off favorably for us. They'll probably just eat one of our things, and then they're going to go ahead and pack it in. Yeah, deck looked pretty good there. I think in general that match can go either way. I think we are a bit favored due to the volume of flying we have in the deck, but we are lacking some like over-the-top kind of grug because we're just mostly a 3 and now deck. All 3 drops and lower, but you know, white cards I think in general, white creature cards I think tend to synergize well together. It's pretty easy to flow with them, and they have actually pretty good quality as far as like scaling up to fight with creatures that are 1 to 2 converted mana cost higher. Um, but yeah, in that case, we just kind of flooded out on creatures. They didn't really have an early like ramp start. Their first play was on 4, even on the play. That's just probably a little bit too slow for the deck that I've got. But new match in front of us. We shall see what happens with this deck. I haven't played enough of this cube to know if like White Weenie is a better arc. All right, this hand looks great. Yeah, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Certainly a keep. On the play, even. Well, if we could only always be so blessed. I suppose we'll see what we're playing against. Hopefully, like red deck wins. That's a matchup that I do not think I'd mind. But yeah, we've got this Spear, which seems pretty good with this draw as well. All right, Island. I like to see Islands against this draw. All right, Ancestral Vision. Well, hopefully we can make it so that you are not getting to that point. All right, well, we're going to play this land out. I possibly should have played out the Meat Ball. Actually, I should have played the Meat Ball out. What do we name here? Jace Vryn's Prodigy, I think is the right name. Yeah, I know it was the right call, because I could have flipped the Legion's Landing next turn. Well, that would have kind of precluded me from casting some more relevant stuff. I think next turn I want to get the Mirror Crusader down before I go with Spear of Heliod. Okay, tapped land. We do have a Tech Edge in deck. Okay, and they're leaving up Force Spike, which I don't believe is a card in this cube. Alright, so for this turn, I am just going to get the Mirror Crusader down. I don't think there's a card. I mean, they could have, what? Force Spike is the only card I can think of, but I don't think it's in this cube. Okay. We'll be flipping the Legion's Landing next turn. Even if they kill something, I can fire up the Mutavault. And Spear of Heliod is no joke here either. So we'll see what they do. If they tap out for something, I could be Spear of Helioding them. And what do we got? Is it going to be like a Coalition Relic? Cool. Alright, that is what I like to see. I think here we play around Tech Edge. I'm just going to Spear of Heliod him here. Just get this thing down. And let's flip our Legion's Landing. I'm not going to cast out my my 2/1 lifelinker here. I'm going to leave up my my Mana Tithe. All right, so they're at 5. They got to do something pretty soon here. So they have up to what, 6 mana this next turn with a land drop. They're not going to get to Visions until next turn, and I'm hoping that I kill them before next turn. We've got 3 off the Mutavault if we do manage to get Wrathed here beyond the Force Spike that we have in hand, or the Mana Tithe. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. There are certainly a lot of cards that could punish us here for our very aggressive line of play, like, many Wrath effects. But I still think we have them at about 2, and if their plan is to Wrath here, if I hit a land, I can attack with the Mutavault. Alright, Vendilion Clique. Yeah, okay. So now I don't think they're going to target me. Alright. I assume they're going to get rid of the Mana Tithe. They're still dead to this. I assume they have to get rid of the Mana Tithe. Alright, so I hit a land. Not great. Now they have to kill something, I think. I wonder what this accomplishes for them, actually. I would have thought they had to, have... I mean, this blocks the Mirror Crusader, but they're still dead to the swing back. Alright, so they have a Mountain now. So they have 3 mana left. Alright, so they're stating that they have something else of value here, I assume. In the land, hitting the land off that Mana Tithe is not the worst. Because I'm going to fire this up, obviously. Or not obviously, but I am going to fire it up. I'm going to get in there with all of these things. And then probably leave up a Danto. We'll see what they do. They basically have to chump block and then kill a thing. Alright, they're just done. I mean, I guess they're just going to make me do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make them have it. I think that's the best. I think you generally should do that. Alright, I definitely don't want Sunland, so I want Oblivion Ring in this matchup. I don't know. Sorcerer's Spyglass is non-mana abilities, right? Yeah. I'm going to stick with, I mean, the deck feels pretty well balanced out to get after what it looked like they were doing. Even Disenchant seems fine. Like, Disenchant hasn't seemed bad. I guess in the first game, we didn't see anything we could disenchant. They probably have Courser in their deck. Or it's a card they could likely have. Yeah, this hand's fine. Mostly just based on the back of Smuggler's Copter. But, yeah. Okay, a Delver of Secrets. Well, if that flips, that could be problematic. But I've got some removal in the deck. I've got life linkers. I've also got the Smuggler's Copter to play out. They're going to flip. I would assume not. Yeah, if they're thinking that long on it. Okay, thing in the ice. Alright, Smuggler's Copter, go. And the cool thing about Smuggler's Copter is it's not going to get bounced by Thing in the ice. If we don't want it to. If this thing flips, no, it's a human insect, not a horror. Interesting, interesting. Alrighty. I'm going to try to play this thing out first, just to activate the Smuggler's Copter here. If they want to counter this, I think it's fine. They're probably just going to kill the Smuggler's Copter, would be my guess. I don't think it was right to slam one of the threes here, because I feel like if they're not doing anything, they're trying to show they have counter magic, or they have a kill spell. If they're not killing this thing now, though, I don't think they're killing it, period. I think I actually want to keep the Tech Edge around. I think I want to keep Hidden Dragon Slayer. Which card is least appealing to me? Spear of Heliod's kind of a good, like, out-of-nowhere kind of card. Yeah. Maybe it's actually this guy. Alright, let's play this card out. If they want to counter this, they can go ahead and counter it. I assume they will. I just don't want to present like a Brimaz where it's like they just, basically eat my whole turn up and I don't get to attack. Yeah, so they have Electrolyze targeting that thing. Okay, well, that's dead. This gives me a very good blocker, though, for the Delver if it flips, unless it's like a burn spell or something. Could be in trouble here. Thing in the Ice tends to be pretty good against this style of deck. But I kind of have this Hidden Dragon Slayer to like recoup on life loss if I get hit by it once, and then hopefully, just flip it and kill the thing after it's flipped into a horror. Alright, well, what have we got? Do I trade here with Delver? I don't think I do. I think I accept the hit for 1 damage. Alright, so they're showing a kill spell again. I'm going to try to play out this Brimaz. It's probably going to get countered. I think it is correct to do here, though. No? Okay. The magic number for Hidden Dragon Slayer is 6, and I kind of want to get to 6 mana here. I feel like History of Benalia is kind of a trap at this very moment. Are they going to kill something? Okay, I was like, if you're going to kill this thing, you kill it before combat, right? Alright, Silverblade Paladin is a very sneaky way to kill someone quickly. I think, despite the... I think I'm going to get rid of Spear here, actually. Spear is just, Alright, they're going to kill something, evidently. Okay. I suppose targeting me. They can also target themselves, which is not unreasonable. I actually want to hit my land here, so I don't mind them taking away one of my cards. They also know my secrets now. They know I have Hidden Dragon Slayer to kind of deal with this. If they block the Smuggler's Copter, Okay. Well, turn off auto yields. All right. Are we going to block here? Or are we going to block? Okay. Do you have a fatal push as well? I would think if you had it, you would have already done it, but yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. Go ahead and F6 here. I don't think there's anything I can do. I mean, I can activate the... I guess I can activate this Immutable Vault in case they have, like, an Edict effect, like Liliana's Triumph or something like that. They have, like, a Scarab God? That would not be good for me. That would be a bit spooky. Okay, Aganti, Lord of Luxury. That could hit Path to Exile, which would be probably the best hit in my deck. Okie doke. This Delver is looking kind of rugged. Alright, I'm going to try to get this going on. Am I supposed to attack here? I think I offer the trade with Aganti if they want to trade. I think I'm supposed to offer that. This leaves me a 1-1 behind that they'll just chump block with the thing in the ice. Or they could just eat the Cat Soldier and then block. Like, they could block, yes. I think I'm still going to discard land here. I want to save the history for post thing in the ice flip if it flips. All right, that's cool. Yeah, they'll chump. Well, I guess they trade and then just block. But this needs to be the 3 creatures to still flip the Kithian next turn. And I have the option of blowing up the Dark Slick Shores if I don't want to die to something like okay, Tamiyo. That could tap a creature so I can't flip the Kithian. Okay. Okie doke. So if I attack with all, they're in a forced block situation, I'm pretty sure here. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is this. I'm going to fire up the Immutable Vault. Alright, we will attack with all. The cool thing about this is they're only going to be able to draw 1 card off of Tamiyo because my Immutable Vault becomes a land again. They could also opt to not have their Delver die, but their Delver will die here. Alright, they're going to block there on the Kithian, which is fine. Now, if they want to, they don't want to trade the Delver off, so they just want to lose this thing. Okay. Because what the Kithian can do is this. I do think there's part of me that really wants to, I'm just going to untap this thing. Part of me really wants to blow up their land here, but I don't have the mana efficiency to do it. So what I want to safeguard against is if they flip this thing in the ice, I get into some trouble. Like, I could tech edge them and try to keep them off 6 drops. All right, Fatal Push. Okay. Okay. Huh, interesting. Evidently that was a card they probably sideboarded in. Alright, so I'm probably not going to take them off mana for anything, unless they have, like, Elish Norn? Okay. We'll kill this. I'm willing to trade off this Smuggler's Copter for their Insectile Aberration. I'm also going to make a 4/4 here. This thing becomes a 3/2, so it's probably not something worth attacking. Alright, they're going to Fatal Push that. That's cool. You got it. Alright, they're going to just let it be eaten. Okay. I think I'm fine with all that. So do you have like an Elish Norn or like a Grave Titan? What do they have here? Elish Norn would be problematic because it would just eat this thing. I couldn't activate it. It's not a triggered response like Grave Titan I could obviously deal with. Like Massacre Worm is a triggered ability. It's an ETB. Alright. They are going to attack. Okay, that makes sense. Now, I wouldn't mind actually hitting a land here, because I would like to be able to leave up the Morph. Okay, cool. So we're going to try to Spectral Pros here, which is a bunch of blockers. Make a 4/4. And then get in for 7, half their life. I'm not going to attack with the Mutavault this turn. I can't think of any way I get punished. I mean, I get punished if they play a big thing that I want to just eat with the Hidden Dragon Slayer. They obviously know what it is because they do they have Vendilion clicked. That's right. I was gonna say discard, but it was a Vendilion click. All right, what have we got? Okay. So what are they targeting? Electrolyze here? Okay. I will eat this thing. That feels pretty good. I mean, they're going to get to kill off some of my flyers, but if they want, or they can kill off one of the attackers, the Hidden Dragon Slayer. But that's kind of why I left this thing hidden for so long, because I figured eventually they're gonna have a force play to stay alive, and well, here it is. They're gonna get a free card off of this though, so they'll have 2 cards next turn. I couldn't have fizzled this. Alright, so it kills my 3/2. Cool. Seems fine. Don't gain any life. And then I have lethal next turn. So the onus is on them. Alright, so I don't know what they drew, but they're going to have 2 draws here. Elish Norn would be like one of the worst things to see. I guess there's no way they're on Elish Norn, though. I mean, they could have like some big dumb, like Nicol Bolas or something. Could be the thing they have. I don't know. I suppose we shall see. It'd also be really bad if they had like a Bonfire of the Damned. That'd be pretty good. I don't think Sudden Demise or Rolling Earthquake are in this cube. Actually, I can just F6. There's literally nothing I can do here. Literally nothing. They're dead to Crackback. Are they? They're not quite dead to Crackback. Alright, Thoughtseize. That's interesting. I mean, they know what I had in hand. I don't think that changes the clock any. It actually puts them Dobbs, right? Because they have to block the Kithian right now. Okay, so it does put them Dobbs. Are there any double black spells that could kill me mid-combat? Probably not. So then what I'm supposed to do is fire this up. Fire this up. And attack with all. And no, never mind. This is not lethal. They're down to 1. They're probably in a forced position to block the Kythian. I do think I play out the Scrap Heap Scrounger here, regardless what happens. All right, terminate on land. Yeah, cool. The land is dead. And they could just eat one of my flyers if they wanted to. Okay, they're not going to go for the value block. I don't blame them. Actually, can they? No, they can't even go for a value block. All right, so what I do here is play out this fella, and then leave up mana to activate him if we get Wrathed or something like that. But they're in a bad spot. I've got the Scrap Heap Scrounger, which, you know, outside of like them destroying the board, exiling, destroying the board completely. What would do it here? Like, not even Ugin would do it here. Because Scrap Heap just gets through Ugin. I guess, no, they get the thing in the ice back. If they Ugin for 2. Okay, nothing. Alright, well, yeah, this deck tends to be pretty good against control. I think it's a little bit less effective, like, with fewer death and taxes pieces. But it still just puts a quick clock on them, forces them to react to you. And eventually, you know, it's tough to kill and counter everything in Cube. I think in general, like, for me at least, my experience has been, like, the more proactive a deck is, the better it tends to do in Cube. But if you do go, like, a control route, you tend to want to have, like, a good combo finish. Not that there's great ones in Modern Cube, but there are some, I suppose. There's, like, Terminus. I don't know if Entreat the Angels is in this Cube or not. It could be. I don't know what their big finishers were. Probably Nicol Bolas's or something like that. I mean, if they got one of those, that could be very problematic for us. But yeah, deck's running well so far. I mean, we're looking at least a 2-1 finish for this white weenie deck, and, well, yeah, I was kind of hoping to do something cooler than this, though. I won't lie. I tend to find that, like, these aggressive strategies are a little bit underdrafted in Cube, and that may just be a byproduct of, like, folks wanting to get in and have, like, a great time, like, just draft cards they don't get to play that often. And, I mean, you can play White Weenie whenever you want. It's a pretty cheap deck to put together. Same with Red Deck Wins. I was kind of hoping to do something a little different this time, like an aggressive deck, but, you know, I'm gonna pick up the decks that I think are being passed to me. Try to as best I can. But you'll have to let me know. Maybe there was a better deck we could have drafted at this table. I do think there was a more open Red Deck Wins deck, and I did make a deliberate decision just for entertainment purposes alone to draft this aggressive strategy because I just put up a video on YouTube with Red Deck Wins. So there's that. Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to go on a quick pause until I find an opponent for round number 3, and yeah, then we'll be back. Alright, guys. We're back. Just waiting for our opponent here. And Moto is doing what it does with Windows. I'd love to play first. Yep, this hand is perfectly acceptable. Got multiple 3s. Good 1, good 2. If they're on like a green deck, we can stifle their mana dork with... Alright, well, Moto's apparently not doing so hot. There we go. Alright, play out the Figure of Destiny. It depends what they do, too. We could just be pumping this Figure of Destiny on turn 2. Alright, like seeing blue cards in general. This cannot name lands, correct? Yeah, Pithing Needle's the only one that can name lands. I think again I'm going to name Jace of Vryn's Prodigy. I don't know. I think it feels right to name that. I don't know if that's correct or not. Alright, get in there for 1. And based on what next land... Alright, so they're blue-red, which is a strong deck. Okay, Mind Stone. Alright. Well, I think we're going to try to give him the quick 1-2 punch here. I'm just going to dump these down and then play Spear of Heliod on the next turn. If I hit a land... It depends. I mean, we would just be flexible here. We could just be pathing something and then playing out. Oh, but all my creatures burned down here, like Sweltering Suns or something. Could be happening. Alright, Chalice for a couple. Into a Gruul Signet. Alright, that's a lot of mana. Don't want to disenchant something. I think I just want to beat them down. Alright, tell them, hey, you got another turn. Play something impactful or lose. Yeah. Could be like an Atarka. That only kills 2 things, though. They're going to draw. Look for some way to deal with this board state. So they are very dead to it next turn. This was a substantial clock. Alright, land. very substantial clock. So, yeah, just dead. Okay. Again, I mean, their deck looks very powerful. That's a lot of mana, but evidently not a ton of payoff. Sorcerer's Spyglass. I haven't seen enough to know if that's worth it. I think I'm going to stick with, but this Disenchant is looking like it's going to probably earn its weight in gold against what they're up to. I also like the Revoker against what they're up to. We saw a Gruul Signet, we saw an Everflowing Chalice, we saw a Mind Stone to keep in mind. Yep, hand's great. This is a certain keep. This is a linear deck, so it's not going to get much better than this. I mean, we could value mull, but we just want to constrict them on time. The cool thing about this hand is it is on the draw, which means I'm going to have more of a look at their 2-drop Signet that they play with the Revoker, which I assume they're going to play. Alright, so Boros Signet. Cool. I think here we are meant to play out this Phyrexian Revoker on the Boros Signet. And I think next turn we're going to look to Silverblade Paladin on the Phyrexian Revoker, and then more of the same. Alright. Yep. Alright. I think they may be dead next turn if they don't do anything to impact the board. That's 12. It's 1 short. So they have a board impacting play. Chandra possibly blows up the that thing. Okay. Alright, I think what I like doing here is this. I'm going to fire up the Mutavault and flip my things. I'm not making a land drop this turn, so I'll attack Chandra. I'll attack them at the face. I'm going to play out the Adanto Vanguard here and say go because it has protection. And if I hit a land, I can fire up the Mutavault plus the Adanto Vanguard and hit them for, what, a lot of damage. Alright, Shivan Fire on that. Yep, sure. Okay, Tamiyo. What does that tap down? Probably the Adanto Vanguard. Okay. So now here's where I want to hit a land. Did not hit the land I wanted to hit. This is a -2 ability, which is going to allow them to get into some cards. There's another option here to just play out the Anafenza. Play out the Kythian. Sure. Hit them in the face. Now they can draw 2 next turn, which is a lot of cards. But I have them very dead on the next turn, so they have to do something about the board. I don't know if it's the right line or not. It also still leaves me with some significant cards in hand, too. I could play on a Scrap Heap and hit them for 2 with Mutavault. It really just depends on what they get up to this turn. Yep, opt, cool. I like them doing this before using the Tamiyo. I can't do anything, so I'm just going to... I guess I should turn this off just in case. Alright, Chandra? Sure. So they can blow up the board if they want. Alright, well... Okay, and all of it dies. Unfortunately, no land. Play this Idjit out. See what they do. also an argument to leaving up the mana tithe here. Sure. Okay. I mean, it could also be we're losing here too. We'll see what happens. So they're on like the all planeswalkers. All right. Yep. So allow them to draw. Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to play out Spear of Heliod here. And just try to get him with the Mutavault here. Now the onus is on them. I mean, they have this Shelldock Isle. They have a lot of card selection with Ral. They could draw with Tamiyo to get one more card deep. So this looks at the top two at Sleight of Hands, right? Okay, yep, that's going to happen. And what else do we have? We have an answer to the board state. Okay, Keranos is not a great answer. Oh, he's actually active. Cool. I like looking with Ral first, but that's just me. Okay. Okay, I get an emblem. Okay, Mind Stone, cool. So, Keranos is interesting from the standpoint that, like, I possibly could have answered that. I had to take one off this, right? Alright, now I need to leave up a Danto, because I do need to be able to attack through this nonsense. Let's see what they've got here. Let's see what it is. Alright, that's fine. I can't mana tide that, so we're fine with that. They'll draw some more cards. And we'll see what they have to do here. Okay, Mountain has been revealed, so they'll draw an extra card here. And let's see what they get up to. This is a lot of mana. Alright, Wildfire. Is this relevant here? Well, I do think I want to do this. Okay. They still don't have a. I guess they have a pretty decent attack with Kara. I guess they don't. No, they can't take the damage here. So that is a 3/3 Mutavault. I still have this Mana Tithe available to me as well, which is interesting. Although I don't know how useful it's going to be here. Be interesting to see if they. All right, tap target permanent. Yep, you got it. Should take some damage off this thing. Ooh, Smuggler's Copter would have been real nice if I still had mana. But I have to say go. But I shouldn't auto-yield, because I may be using this Mana Tide if they cast like a 5-mana spell. It's a possibility. Okay, 3 damage to any target. I wouldn't be shocked if that was just me. Alright, so this thing. I'm going to take 4 because if I don't, then I'm not blocking very well. And they could tap it with the Tamiyo and do 6, and maybe they can kill me. Alright, so now I'm taking 9. So I am, if they tap this Adanto, they can put me down to 1. Okay, yep. So they've ultimated the Tamiyo. What else do we have going on? So this deck's actually pretty sick. It's like a Wildfire Planeswalker deck. The deck looks pretty cool. We were very close to winning here. I think there was a few turns like where if we'd hit our land drops, we were in a much better spot. Okay. What does this card do? Oh, okay. We're probably dead then. Let us see. Tap them all. Tap them all. Two more. You can do it. Yeah, okay. This is a counter spell, I assume. Okay. So if they kill me this turn, I'm just dead. Cyclonic Rift. I think I can probably go ahead and concede it here, because it's going to go back to their hand, right? So yeah, let's just go ahead and concede it here. We're pretty dead. That's going to go back to their hand due to the Tamiyo ultimate, the emblem. So we just kind of missed our marks. I don't think that's bad. I think we can probably beat this deck. Do we want an Oblivion Ring? Or like Sorcerer's Spyglass? I don't think it's per se bad. Like, Disenchant I really like. Oblivion Ring is interesting. I think we just resub it. Oblivion Ring's possibly correct in this list too. Like Aethersphere Harvester, like how much? I guess it does get around like their Oblivion Ring. This Exiles, right? I don't feel like Hidden Dragon Slayer's a necessity, but it does. Like actually, Path to Exile would have been really good there too. That'd have been a hell of a chop deck. What would I cut if I do this? Like History. History's kind of slow. Let's try this out. Try an Oblivion Ring in here over History. I think it's fine. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's fine too. I'd love to play first. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one. It's a little bit dicey, but if it hits lands, it's good. If it hits really any lands, I mean, I would like to hit a Plains, but it's got a turn 1 threat. It's got an answer to creatures. It's got this Hidden Dragon Slayer, which I can just play out on 2. Shellback Isle every time, eh? Seems good. Card is very powerful. It's one of the better cards in the cube. Alright, I think for this one, I'm just going to slam this thing. Just going to slam it. Okay, land. That's some damage, though. Alright, counterspell, I assume. Oblivion Ring is a cool pickup. I'm just going to slam this dude, and if they want to counter it, they can counter it. Hit him for 3. Say go. Alright, they're going to burn something off. Fire Ice could be really good here. Yeah, that's in the cube, I think. Okay, Snapcaster. Cool. They can eat the figure, I assume. Yeah. Seems good. If they play like a Coalition Relic on, I'll probably just get it. I just want to take them off of artifact mana here. Yeah, I'm just going to Oblivion Ring their Gruul Signet for tempo purposes. I think it's a weaker line, but I want to buy time. I want to get like one more attack step in. I think saw a lot of 5 mana planeswalkers, but not a lot of cheaper ones. Yeah. All right, Silverblade. All right, they're going to burn something off here. Well, they're dead next turn, so they got to play something here. They've been burning through a lot of their interaction. Okay, 5 mana. What have we got? Like a Tamiyo or something? A Ral? Okay, Tamiyo. Tapping what? The Silverblade? Cool. Leave up the Path to Exile here. If they have like the Keranos, alright, Azorius Signet, cool. Alright, Thraben Inspector. Sure. Show me the burns. If you got it, you got it. They don't have it. All right. Yeah, I think you make them show it there because I feel like what they're trying to set up for is I feel like one of the other cards in their hand outside of the other two is probably a Wildfire. And that's kind of the risk that that's how we lose that game. So like my follow-on play was, if they answered my board, is to actually play out the Aethersphere Harvester. So if I hit another land, I can play like a cheap threat. There was some credence to actually saving the Thraben Inspector because if we hit like one more planes, we can activate the flyer and just finish them off, but that was just enough to do it. So anyways, guys, that was a White Weenie draft in the Modern Cube. We ended up going 3-0 in. This is number 7 the cubes have done. So I've had 3 2-1 results and 4 3-0s at this point. So been going pretty good in the Modern Cube, and I think this cube's actually pretty well balanced. You know, unfortunately, some of the cooler cubes I've done, like I've had a Grixis cube that was really sweet, and then I've had a couple mid-range cubes that were pretty sweet. You know, that all said, like I tend to find that like red and white are a little bit underdrafted. I think my favorite arcs that I've drafted so far were probably Grixis, and then green-white mid-range. Actually, green-white mid-range aggro was quite fun, and those I both did well with. I think I got 3-0s on both those, and I've done well with Red Deck Wins and White Weenie. I think they tend to always be kind of staples in cubes. A lot of folks talk crap on White Weenie. I actually think in like the older cubes, it's actually better than Red Deck Wins. I do think in this cube, it's kind of a toss-up. Like they can both do well. And I think they're both pretty mutable decks. I think they both, generally speaking, need to go larger. This was definitely on the small spectrum, or on the very low curve spectrum of White Weenie. Just really an aggressive, very aggressive deck. And yeah, it can do well. Like simple and linear can do very well in cubes. If you're looking to win a cube, I don't think it's a bad approach if you realize that it's open. So yeah, give it a shot if it's open. Same with red. I mean, it may not be the most glorious way to win. It may not be the most fun or most creative, but you know, simple, linear, you know, curve tech decks. There's some magic to that, right? So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed playing it and drafting it. So, take care, and see you guys around.